Hey everybody, I want to go ahead and I want to welcome you to today's Inspiration Nation call every Thursday that we have. I want to go ahead and we just came back from the event. We're super excited. We're going to kind of share with you guys, what of our experiences that we got from the event. I'm just going ahead and introduce Melody. She's an amazing person, our leader. They call her the mom of UP. So, she really means a lot to me, and I started getting a lot of results when I started putting people in front of her. So, this is something that you guys want to definitely listen to. So I want to go ahead and pass it to Melody Riva.
Thank you, Scotty. One of the best things about my day is to be able to choose who I surround myself with. And Scott, you are definitely one of the brightest parts of my day. So thank you very, very much. I'm so proud of you. And we are very excited. We're here to share with our team, Inspiration Nation, and all of the other teams who want to listen in. The amazing results that we got from the Life Mechanics event this past weekend in LA. And just there are so many nuances that have been taken away from there and things that have affected, I know, myself permanently for the rest of my life. I will never be the same. I'll look at so many things differently, and I'm really excited to have some of our attendees on here, some real special people to me. We've got Doug Harkins, and we've got Carlin and Rob and Scott and Susan, and I know we have a few more that are going to be popping on in a little bit, but we just wanted to take this time to really kind of let you guys know what you missed. And somebody said, well, are you going to train? Are you going to train us and teach us what you learned? Guys, you know what? To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't be able to do it justice. And, how many people agree with me on that? I don't think that I could even come close to sharing with you what all of the power that was behind the training that we were with Robert Hollis and Bill Ebert, and then when Matthew and Hannah shared with us, and Robert Hollis Jr. was spectacular. It was just incredible. So what I want to do is first I want to play for you just a little tiny clip, and you guys are going to have to forgive me for, it's not the greatest quality, but I have a little clip from the farmer character that Robert played, and I want to share that with you, and then I want to hear from all of you amazing people that took the time to spend with us today and share what you took away from the Life Mechanics event, why you think it's important that people try not to ever miss one of those events, and how excited you are, how it's going to affect you in your future. So if you guys just bear with me here, I'm going to try to share my screen. I'm still learning all this, guys. Okay, let me find it. No, down here. Uh-oh. See? Like I said, I'm still learning. Let me make sure my volume is way up. It's up good. I'm going to see if I can make this bigger for you guys. I want to hide this. And take a listen to Robert Hollis.
How many people want to be free? Okay. So now the other concept of farmer that I love very much is how many people have ever seen the size of a mustard seed? It's about the size of a pinhead. And when you plant that seed, you take care of the ground, it grows into one of the strongest, largest trees on the planet. But you got to take care of that seed. So when you plant the seeds in the field, you got to take care of them. You can't leave weeds grow in the garden. How many people in this room know you can talk about your mind? We've been talking about the mind a lot, haven't I? It's like everybody wants to know, tell me what to do, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. Well, guess what? If I was going to teach you how to be a farmer because you bought a piece of land next to me, and I just told you, hey, plant the seeds. Just plant the seeds. This is how you do it. Then I go over to your house and I'm going, what are you doing? Well, you told me to plant the seeds, but you didn't clear the ground first? What's that? You didn't till up the land. You didn't mix in fertilizer. You just planted the seed. Well, that's what you told me to do. That ain't gonna work. So for people that understand biblical terms, you know what I mean? You plant some of that seed on what? Unfertile ground. It dies. It doesn't do anything. Then some of that seed lands on rocks. Because you didn't pick the rocks. That seed died. Some of the seed wasn't planted in the ground, so then the birds died. Those birds. Always getting the seed. Can you imagine walking up to a farmer if we were talking about each seed being a person that you were going to tell your story to as an entrepreneur? Because all we are professional storytellers. So the person that tells their story, or the story of their mentor, more than anybody else, the more new people win. Can you imagine walking up to a farmer and saying, how many seeds did you plant this year? What? How many seeds did you plant? On 10 acres of land, it's pretty close to about 3.5 tons. 3.5 tons of seed. Yes. I have no clue how many seeds are in there. How many people 3.5 tons if you don't know weight? That's a ton. You know what I mean? Big pickup truck's about a ton. That weight with a little seed. So trucks full of seed that they're planting in the ground. If each one was a prospect, trillions. People are like, oh man, I just talked to 4 people last month. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to plant, but it's got to be planted in good seed. But you got to keep the weeds out. What would be considered weeds? Come on. In my opinion, everything other than seed.
So I'm going to try to come back to you guys. In his opinion, we should get rid of anything other than seed. Wow. How many people just got a major pop when that happened at the event? When he said that. That just, it really made me stop and think. And at this time, you know, I just want to hear from you all. Because I know what I got out of this, and I continue to get out of it as I go through my notes over and over, and I keep watching the little video clips that I can find. But this event was so spectacular, and I'm gonna ask Doug to share first, because I know, Doug, you have an appointment you have to get to, and I'm so thankful that you were able to make it with us here today. Doug, can you unmute yourself and tell me what you got from this event?
So many. The event was so great. It was a mix of Bill Ebert and Robert Hollis's knowledge for the past 27 years or more, all blended together to show us what our personalities need to be like, where our mindset needs to be at, to do our businesses. Robert said that the second that you know that you can, you will. That just hit me like a ton of bricks. You know, got so much out of that. You know, he said, if you're stuck, that's a limiting belief. If you can learn to take responsibility, you can change things. Whew. You know, just another pop right upside the head, you know. He said that to me when he was dressed as a prisoner, and I was dumbfounded, and he looked right at me and went, oh, Doug just popped, you know. There were so many different times, you know, change the paradigm. Get out of your comfort zone where your dreams can come true. It was just one after the other, life hacks and pops that just you had to be there to get them. Robert said them to us over and over on calls and in his videos, but to get it right from his mouth, being right there with the body language and the stares, looking right at you, it meant so much more. So much more. He said, open your mind. You learn by being unfiltered. Open up and allow it to come in. Every time you have a learning experience, it should be wonderful. Just things like that you miss when you don't get to go to these events. So if you can, I would say, if you're out there and you haven't been to a live event with Robert, you need to do everything in your power to get to the next live event in Charlotte. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you, Doug. And I have to say, I enjoyed watching you. It was like I could hear the pops happening sitting next to me. So that was really exciting for me to be able to watch you at the same time. And so many of the pops that were happening for different things for different people. And I think that is so incredible. So I'm going to ask Rob. Rob, I'm so glad to have you as part of our team here today on our call. And we got to spend some time together, and hopefully we get to spend more time together, because I just think you are a fabulous individual. I just love you, and I love the friendship that we're developing here. But I really respect you and admire you for all of the importance, the priority that you find that is important to your own development when it comes to personal training and the efforts that you put out. And just to do that for yourself, can you share with us what Life Mechanics meant to you?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for allowing me to come. I love being able to share this stuff with people. One thing I'll say, though, is that you started off with, when people ask, can you train this stuff? And it goes beyond can I or can you. It's can you receive it? Whether it's from us or whether it's from Robert, that's the big part of it. And you need to make a decision how important this is to you. How important are you to yourself? That's really what it comes down to. It's like, what are you trying to do in your life? How big is your why? And I've heard all of the excuses just in the last, I know we've all seen it, in the last, 4 or 5 days since the event with the Charlotte event coming up. Oh, it's Labor Day weekend, tickets are going to be expensive. Oh, I don't have enough lead time to figure it all out. It's like, at the end of the day, I believe it was Nietzsche that said, if your why is big enough, any how can be accomplished. So just find a way. If it's important to you, you will find a way to get there. And at the end of the day, even if I was doing it or Melody was doing it, I wouldn't be doing it this way. I would still get you in the room because there is a huge value to the physicality of it, the energy of the room. If you go back and look at the comments from the Q&A last night, my own personal comments, one of the biggest things, it was Eric Warre told us a long time ago on GoPro Recruiting Mastery, it's about the people that you will meet. And I actually got to meet Scott and Melody and everybody, and Doug and Susan, all at the event, and go beyond just this. This is valuable, but getting eyeball to eyeball is just incredible. And but that being said, it's so hard to pick one thing. I was blessed enough to have Terry Tillert, the TNT team, they gave me an hour to do to impart some knowledge and to do some highlights. And literally, I had 4 pages of notes I had distilled from my 34 pages of notes I took at the event. And to put that in context, those of you that have been following me at all know I did Tony Robbins about 3 weeks ago. So imagine 2.5 days of Life Mechanics versus 4 days of Tony Robbins, 6-hour days at Life Mechanics versus 12 to 14-hour days at Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, I only had 23 pages of notes. This was some dense material, and and just, you know, and hearing the pops come up around the room is amazing. But I think the clip that you played, I know, of all the characters, there wasn't a bad moment throughout the weekend. Of all the characters, though, Farmer Bobby was my favorite because it is so deep. And actually, I will provide one quote that Junior had that relates to Farmer Bobby. But when Junior first got up, I'm going to say it my way, so I will apologize in advance because I know French very well, and so I'm going to use some of it. So if you're not used to French, you might want to plug your ears at parts of this, but it's really quick. Dirt has to be broken down, broken up, and shit on to be productive. Junior said poop. I don't think it holds as much impact. But it's true. It is so true. It's like we all know that to be successful in this business, you have to be willing to hear the no's. You have to be willing to hear the criticism from your friends, your family, from people that you talk to on a daily basis. If you're not willing to do that, if you can't find that willingness to do that, I'm going to be very blunt with you, and I'll apologize ahead of time to Melody, the leader of this wonderful team. Maybe this is not the business for you. You know, at some point, maybe you need to be making that decision. A wise gentleman in my life once told me the beautiful thing about banging your head on the wall is that it feels so good when you stop. And you can stop banging your head on the wall in one of 2 ways. One is to pursue and enjoy whatever you do. Enjoy personal development, enjoy your prospecting every day, find a way to do that. The other way is to figure out that maybe it's just not for you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to quit. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you to evaluate what you're doing. So don't go around. I don't want to hear people telling people that, oh, Rob told me I should quit, because now you're just making me the scapegoat for your failures in life. So I'm not going to take that. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to hand it back to Melody. Thank you again so much, and I'll stick around for any Q&A.
Thank you, Rob. Wow, that was great. That was great. And, you know, that's one of the things that everybody that knows me, that's one of my biggest faults. And I have to apologize to my team for this. I am not one to be that blunt with you. And I know it's needed, it's necessary. Robert gives it to me, and if you guys are pros, you should be plugged into Robert and be listening to what he says to you, and stop putting words in between the words that he's saying, because that's what I was doing. So let me rationalize the things that he was saying. And that's so, so very important. Thank you so much, Rob, and please stay with us, because I know we have lots. We all have lots we want to say. Carlin, darling, our little firecracker, you got to spend the weekend with us and got to experience this amazing event that we call Life Mechanics. Do you feel like maybe that Life Mechanic helped you out in your life at all?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I think my head is still spinning since I've gotten home. Like literally, it was just, of all the events that I've gone to, and I've gone to a lot. I've gone to GoPro. I went to the ANMP. I go to my own conventions in town. I go to anything that I can get myself to, and by far this was my most favorite, because it wasn't just people standing there going, you can do it, and, you know, I did this, and yay, another multimillionaire, you know, woohoo, clap, 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 10 hours a day. It was like actual, real, tangible stuff that you can take with you, but it's hard to actually explain it to somebody else in the way that we learned it, being live there and in person. Because when you hear it from Bill and Robert, it's like it penetrates in your head, and like Doug was saying, he got so many pops, which so did I. There was just so many, and it might be things you've seen in the video that Robert has done, or it might be things you've heard other speakers say, but it's just different when you're there live and in person. And one of the things that really made me think was when Robert was saying something like, when you know you have to meet somebody, let's say at 2 o'clock at Starbucks, you know that you find out where it is, or unless you know that you got to get your shoes on at a certain time, you know that you have to drive there, and you know that it's approximately going to take you about 15 minutes to get there. You don't sit there and go, oh my God, how am I going to get to Starbucks? You just go and you know it. And I was trying to explain this to somebody close to me about success. It's like when, like a lady, she gets pregnant and the doctor tells her you're going to have a baby 9 months from now in this state. The lady probably doesn't sit there and go, well, I'm not really sure if that baby's really going to come out, or perhaps the baby's going to come out a horse. She doesn't doubt it. She knows that baby's probably going to come out on September 27th or around that time. And so what I've been really thinking is it's the same thing as being successful. You just have to, like, tell yourself this is what's going to happen, not doubt it. And just like you know you're going to have a baby on September 27th, you know you're going to have that baby on September 27th. I know it's a crazy way to think of it, but it's what's really helped me. And ever since I got home, I've been listening or reading Think and Grow Rich every night before I go to sleep. And I wake up in the night and I have to read more. And then I've been listening to Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich, every day, all day. And I'm doing what Robert says he does, and just listening to it and getting it into my brain. So I just know I just have to think this is the plan, and this is the way this is how I have to think. Don't doubt it, no matter what your circumstances are, because thoughts become things, and that's really all there is to it. So if you're thinking negatively, then that's what, it's going to come back to you. So I feel very blessed and grateful that I was able to be around all of you fabulous people and make so many new friends. I cannot wait to attend the next event that's going to be coming up. Not this North Carolina one. I can't attend that one. I have prior plans. But the next ones, I will be there with all of you lovely people, and I cannot wait to see you all again. Be there.
Thank you so much, Carla, and I just love you. You are just... you just make me smile all the time. I'm just so blessed to have you as part of our family, and all of us are. So thank you, and it was such a joy to have you there at this event and watch you go through this experience with us. So love you, love you, love you. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to our Black Diamond, Scott Kloster. What happened to you this weekend?
I'm just kidding. A lot of stuff. Seeing all you guys was the best part of the event. No, I learned a lot. I liked all the characters Robert did, but the farmer really stood out to me, and planting more seeds, and that the farmer was just like something that I learned a lot from. So. And the life hacks was a really great thing. The biggest thing that I learned was the pause thing. You gotta pause, say I'm sorry, and then find a solution. And sometimes it's funny. I think that if you pause, they'll answer their own question. So if you pause, they'll answer their own questions. So, it was really great. I learned a lot. Like Carlin said, it's like you can't sum it up. It's like you have to be at these events. I'm thinking about going on the next one too, but I'm trying to get to all these events because it's very important and it's just a lot better. I just think it was better than GoPro or any event that I've been to. So, I learned a lot. I just want to be there every single event that's happening. So, back to you, Melody.
Thank you so much, Scott. So, what was your favorite character?
Didn't I say Farmer?
Farmer, okay. Yeah, Farmer was very, that was very powerful character. For myself, it was Ned the Nerd. Ned the Nerd reached down into my soul and just gave me a good whacking. And what I mean by that is, some of the things that Robert was saying, I know that we've heard before. And for any of you that have heard Robert speak on stage before, this does not compare. This event, I want to say, is like the pro mentorship training on mega steroids. You guys agree? I mean, the pro mentorship training we have here with Unlimited Profits is phenomenal, but that event was so beyond. And I've heard Robert speak before, and this was nothing I have ever heard before. So it's incredible. However, some of the phrases maybe I've heard before, but it meant something different. And like, Rob and Doug and everybody was saying, it's really the environment, the power, the energy in the room, being able to have that eye contact when Robert was teaching and when Bill was providing us this information that was just so important in applying to not only our everyday lives, but to help us be successful no matter what we choose to do. So that was really, really good. I do want to share one of the things that that was said, and I've heard this before, but for some reason I went back to my book and I highlighted it because Robert was sharing that it's, why do we spend so much of our valuable time with people who aren't doing anything, people who, well, how do I do it? Right? Our valuable time. And he said work ethic can beat talent every time. Now, I didn't come with a lot of skills, but I like to think that I have a really good work ethic. I know that I need to work on myself, and that's what I try to focus on. So powerful. Susan, will you share with us with this event? I know you had some, for all of us, I think we laughed, we cried, we got lost in our thoughts of what have we been doing, and we were empowered. But Susan, you and I had a lot of emotional stuff going on from this event. So will you come out and share with us what you took from this and how you're going to how you're going to apply it to your life?
Honestly, it was an awesome event. I can sum it up mostly in, I don't know if it was Junior that said this, but a checkup from the neck up. I loved all the characters. The characters really touched me. I liked the doctor. I liked, and I forgot what I was going to, I liked how he said, talked about taking personal responsibility, limiting beliefs, all the things that we've heard. And when he did the prisoner thing, talking about being a prisoner in our own mind. And like you said, that it's mostly attitude. And I really liked the farmer. I mean, I cannot wait until we can get a recording of it so I can sit and watch the whole thing again. I loved being with you guys. I loved meeting other people. I can't say enough about this event, and I can't wait to go to the next one. It really touched me, and I think I didn't know what I was in store for, because the first day I left in tears, and it really. But it's like you said, I laughed and I cried, and it was great all the way around. I can't even begin to talk about all the pops that I had, and I would urge anyone to go to this event.
Thank you so much, Susan. It was such a joy to have you there and to be able to spend time with you, and that was really, really special to me. And I love you. I love you. I'm so proud of you for making this event. Veronica, Little Spitfire. Veronica, will you come out and share with us what you took from this event?
I will. So I'm actually going to touch up on what Bill taught. So going back to my notes and reviewing everything that was said, I kind of came across what Bill had said, and it was a very poignant point that I probably would not have thought about if I had not gone back into my notes. And when he said that 5 years from now, ask your future self what you could have been doing during this time, that would impact, right? That would make an impact on you. And he went over how to make sure to take out the things that are not important, and also to work on the things that are urgent. And so to, I guess, kind of prioritize your days, and just to get rid of things that don't feed into your future self. And that's something that I think about. And I'm a mom, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm always busy. I mean, I was late to this call because I was running around, and it's like I have to think every day, every morning, and look and see what is on my plate and what can I get rid of. Because 5 years from now, if I don't get rid of stuff that's not necessary, I may be in the same situation, in the same spot, and I don't want to do that. So that's something that that I kind of like what he said, and like I said, I didn't think about it until I went back into my notes, and that's something that I encourage all of us to do, is to go back and read your notes, because when you're there, you're busy writing, and maybe it's not sinking in, but you're busy taking notes. And until you go back and you read, then you realize, wait a minute, oh, yeah, you're right. And Melody, you and I talked about this. And I did it after we talked, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually wrote that, and he actually said that, So it's, I really like that. And then also something he said too, the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. And it's true, right? Sometimes we're so busy focusing on the problem that we forget that there's an opportunity there for us. So I encourage people to go, anyone that hasn't been to see Robert speak, they definitely should, because it does make a big difference seeing him in person and the way that he connects with us.
Right, you were very privileged. You got to go up and be part of an example of when Robert was sharing how to do that game plan with people.
Right.
How to get people to realize what it is that they want. What did you walk away from there?
That was a very, I don't know how to explain that moment, but at that moment it felt like it was just me and him, and I had his undivided attention. And the way that he came across, he was sincere in wanting to find out what is it that I wanted, and what is my game plan, and how to go about, working on my game plan. So it totally made an impact on my life, and I really appreciated that, because it showed me how I can focus on the person in front of me and make it about them and not about me. So that was a very good example.
Yes, it was. Thank you very much for sharing. One of the things that I walked away from there, and I'm going to share this because there are so many people on our team that I think are very similar to me. Go figure, right? But one of the things that really, really touched me and made me think about why sometimes I don't get results is, and I'm going to read this. I believe it was Bill, I want to say Bill, that said this, you know, it's not just words that we're putting out there when we're talking with people. But when we don't like our own self-image and we don't see ourselves as valuable, people pick up on that. When we're chatting with them, even if you're just chatting through Facebook, people pick up on it. When we don't have confidence, people pick up on that. Why would they listen to what we have to say to them, what we have to share with them, what we have to give to them, if we're sending off these negative vibes about ourselves, you know? And I picked up on something. I did a hangout with somebody yesterday. And I won't say who it was, but this person got up during the hangout and had to walk away and grab something and come back. And this person was a lot like the old me. Not saying I don't have those similarities anymore. Yes, I'm still working on that self-confidence. I'm still working on that belief in myself. But they walked away kind of with their head down and a little bit slower. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen somebody kind of walk with their head down? And I just knew that that person was broken because I was that person. And if all we gave to people when we give the gift of unlimited profits was the ability to build their self-esteem, feel like they're worth that value. I mean, we're all here with our own gifts and talents. And it's about utilizing those, learning how to use those to better the lives of others. So with unlimited profits, if all we gave to somebody was the ability to build their self-confidence and feel good about themselves, would it all be worth it? Would that little bit of confidence make a difference in other people's lives? And then of course, we've got the opportunity here. So just something to think about. And I just want to, I will cherish this journal. I will cherish this journal that's got just full of notes that I don't know when I'll ever get through going through them and going through them and going through them. But that's what Robert teaches us, is to be a student, right? To continue being a student. Even if we learn something, you know, Robert, after 27 years, is still a student. So the best way to learn is to be at these events, to be utilize the events that we have with Unlimited Profits, be on the trainings, be there, be present. Not just be there, but be present. And let yourself learn from these incredible teachers. Bill, our professor. At this time, you know, I know we're running out of time here. I just want to open it up. Does anybody have anything else to add?
Actually, yeah, so I'd like to add one thing to that last piece you were just saying about being present. Again, I think I made a point about this on the Q&A last night, but I think some of the most valuable lessons are the simplest lessons we can learn. And what I found for me works to be present is I literally, when I'm on the videos with Robert, I look him in the eye. And for whatever reason for me, a switch goes on, everything goes away. Everything goes away. And that wish that he has to be right across the table from me happens. And the byproduct of that is when we were in the room all weekend long distractions, people sitting next to me going, what was that, Rob? What was that, Rob? And poking at me and stuff like that didn't exist. I didn't feel bad about it. I was, because you know, as soon as you turn to tell somebody what happens, now you've missed the next thing.
That is so true.
And I didn't have a problem sitting there going,
No, that was the voice, Rob.
I'm not even going to go there. But yeah, you've heard it. Well, I don't want to wrap it up for you, Melody, but I mean, you've heard it all here from everybody. It is incredibly valuable to be in the room. You owe it to yourself. You know, we've heard Robert say it. You hear Eric Worre say it all the time. Just say yes, tell the world, and figure it out. It's the best gift you can give yourself for Christmas. Trust me. You will not be disappointed. It's amazing material, and you get to meet amazing people like all the people you see on here.
Yeah, it was so fabulous, so spectacular. Thank you so much, Rob. And bottom line is, do you deserve it? Does your family deserve it? We need to invest in ourselves. And if that means time learning from experts, then you need to spend the time to do that. If you don't deserve it, think about this. Does your family? So, anyways, I want to thank each and every one of you for spending time with us. Please share this with your with people. Edify this event, because you're going to, even if you can't be there, like Robert said, you're going to want somebody you know and care about to be there and experience this. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, each and every one of you. I love you, and we'll see you when we see you.
Melody, we're out.